All right, welcome. Today, we are diving into something huge, mastering the mind. And we're not just going to talk about it in some abstract way. No, we're building a real, practical framework by pulling some of the best insights from history's greatest thinkers.
So let's just jump right in with a core question. This comes from a 13th century Buddhist philosopher named Nichiren Daishonin. And it's so simple, but it's really at the heart of everything we're about to discuss. And the question is this: right now, in this very moment, are you directing your thoughts, or are they directing you?
Now, that might sound like some deep philosophical thing to just ponder, but I want you to think of this as a practical emergency. Seriously, because a mind without a governor, without you at the wheel, it doesn't just drift off aimlessly. Oh no, it actively compounds its worst tendencies. You know what I'm talking about? Anger, that constant need for approval, snap judgments. These things just build on each other until, before you know it, those habits become the actual shape of your life.
So, the big question is, how do we build a better governor for the mind? Well, our framework for this starts with layer 1, the foundation. And this is all about getting your inner state right before you try to do anything else. You got to start from the inside out.
Okay, let's kick this off with a really counterintuitive idea. This one's from Robert Greene. He basically argues that those big emotional outbursts we sometimes see, someone losing their temper, it's not a show of power at all. It's the exact opposite. When you display uncontrolled anger, you're basically just broadcasting to the entire world that you've completely lost control of yourself.
I mean, think about it. The crucial point here is, if you can't even control your own feelings, how on earth can you hope to control anything else in your life? It's a non-starter. The Stoic philosopher Seneca took this so seriously that every single night he would review his day, kind of like an emotional ledger. He'd look back and see where he got a little too heated, not to beat himself up about it, but to gently build up what he called a witnessing self, like this calm inner observer just taking notes.
Okay, so this whole practice of self-observation, it's great, but it requires a tool, right? And the ancient Greeks gave us a fantastic one. The concept is called dokimedzane. Now, just picture this: an ancient money changer. Someone hands them a coin. What do? They test it, right? They bite it, they weigh it, they check if it's real or a fake. The Stoics said, hey, we should be doing that with our own beliefs. We need to apply that exact same level of scrutiny.
Epictetus just lays it out so plainly here. He says the philosopher's #1 job is to test and separate appearances, and to act on nothing that is untested. But think about how often we do the exact opposite. We just accept these mental counterfeit coins all day long. These handed-down ideas about what success looks like, what happiness is supposed to be, what really matters. And we don't give them a second thought.
And this leads us right into one of the biggest traps out there: living by the outer scorecard. I mean, just think about it in our world today. It's the endless scrolling for likes, the stomach-sinking anxiety over a negative comment, the constant draining comparison game. That, right there, is the outer scorecard in action. The alternative? It's developing an inner scorecard, a standard of integrity that's witnessed only by you. And guess what? It's completely immune to what anyone else thinks.
And just listen to how directly Epictetus puts this. He says the moment you are tempted to look for outside approval, realize you have compromised your integrity. Wow. And listen, the goal here isn't to become arrogant or to not care about people. It's about recovering the authorship of your own life. It's about taking back the pen. His final instruction is so powerful. If you need a witness, be your own.
Okay, so with that foundation in place, let's get practical. It's time to move to layer 2, the practice. This is where we get into the daily disciplines that actually turn all these cool ideas into reality.
And we're going to start with a really simple story. So picture this. It's 1940, and the amazing writer James Baldwin is walking through New York City with his mentor, a painter named Beaufort Delaney. All of a sudden, Delaney stops him right at a gutter and asks him, "What do you see?" And Baldwin's answer was probably what any of us would say, "It's a puddle."
But Delaney's response, so simple but so profound. He didn't lecture him, he just said, "Look again." He wanted him to really look.
And when Baldwin actually did it, when he really looked, the world just transformed. That puddle wasn't just a puddle anymore. He saw the reflections of buildings moving and shimmering like liquid mercury, just distorted and radiant and alive in this dirty water. And here's the key part, right? The puddle didn't change one bit. The only thing that changed was the quality of James Baldwin's attention.
So, okay, what in the world does a puddle in a gutter have to do with self-mastery? Well, pretty much everything. That ability to slow down and truly see the world around you, that's the exact same skill you need to see your own emotions clearly. It's all about creating that tiny, vital pause between a stimulus and your response. It's how you learn to resist the tyranny of the first impression.
All right, our next practice is a big one, reducing judgment. You know, Ryan Holiday makes this striking observation that the root of most family conflict, it isn't some huge, deep-seated psychological issue. Most of the time, it's just judgment. Plain and simple. We have our opinions, they have their opinions. And boom, we clash.
Now, the solution here is not to become indifferent or to not care about anything. No, it's a strategic choice to have fewer unnecessary opinions. Think about it. A mind that is constantly rating and ranking and judging every little thing, that mind can never, ever rest. That little snap judgment you make about a colleague's idea or a friend's life choice, what does it get you? It costs you mental energy, it costs you goodwill, and you get almost nothing in return.
Okay, so we've got the foundation, we've got the daily practices, so what happens when you actually apply all this stuff consistently over time? That brings us to our final layer, layer 3, the outcome. This is about what it actually means to live well.
You know, what's so fascinating about this progression from Gandhi is the math behind it. The changes that start in our thinking, they're not additive, they're multiplicative. A single thought isn't just 1 + 1. It's the seed. It's the starting point that grows into your words, then your behaviors, then your habits, and ultimately your entire destiny. The effect just compounds and compounds.
And this incredible compounding effect leads to something Aristotle called eudaimonia. Now, you'll often see this translated as happiness, but honestly, that's kind of misleading. It's not about feeling pleasure or having a good time. It's something deeper. It's the profound satisfaction that you get from continuously enacting the best version of yourself. Notice that word, enacting. It's a process, it's something you do, not a prize you win at the end.
And that right there is the whole point. Self-mastery isn't some mountain you climb once and plant a flag at the top and then you're done. It's not a one-time achievement you can check off a list. It is a daily practice. It's a constant, active, moment-by-moment reenactment of your best self, of your highest values.
You know, I absolutely love this quote from Mark Twain because it just brings this whole idea home with a perfect touch of humor. He said, "I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened." I mean, that's pure stoicism right there, isn't it? It's this recognition that most of our suffering, most of our anxiety comes from worrying about futures that never even arrive.
And that brings us right back to where we started. All of this incredible wisdom, from Nichiren Daishonin to James Baldwin to the Stoics, it's all just an invitation. It's an invitation to stop, to look again, and to ask yourself that one fundamental question. So after everything we've gone through, now, who's running the show?